Hello, I am Naja Jubals, and I am going to tell you a little bit about DI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and affirmative action. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, and affirmative action have evolved as essential elements of social policy aimed at addressing historical inequalities and creating a more just society. The roots of DEI trace back to the civil rights movement of the 1960s when African Americans, women, and other marginalized groups fought for equal rights. The landmark 1964 Civil Rights Act, which prohibited discrimination in employment and public accommodations, was a pivotal step towards fostering a more inclusive society. Affirmative action, introduced in the 1960s under President Lyndon B. Johnson, was designed to ensure that underrepresented groups had access to educational and employment opportunities. Johnson's executive orders emphasized the importance of proactive steps to dismantle systematic discrimination and promote fairness. Over time, affirmative action programs expanded to not only race but also gender, disability, and socioeconomic status. However, affirmative action has faced significant challenges and controversies. Critics argue that it leads to reverse discrimination, while supporters maintain that it's necessary to level the playing field in the face of historical oppression. In the 21st century, many schools and businesses incorporated DEI initiatives to focus on creating inclusive environments that celebrate diverse perspectives, promote fairness, and ensure equal opportunity. Today, DEI and affirmative action continue to be central to conversations about equity in education, the workplace, and society at large, representing ongoing efforts to address the legacy of inequality. All right, hello, I'm Naja, and I am doing a study with my ethnic studies class on DEI.
My name's Sierra Birds.
Okay, so we're gonna ask you two questions today. The first question is, what do you think DEI is? Please explain.
I know the D stands for diversity and the E stands for equity, and I think the I stands for inclusive. Not too sure. You gotta fact check that. And I think it means how corporations and companies have to have they can't be discriminatory towards races and ethnicities.
Would you rather be hired because you earned it or because you're a minority?
I think it's 50-50 for me. Um, you know, I come from the best. I am the best. I study the best. I'm academically the best. So I I have to be the top of the top. So I have to earn that spot in order to be at the top because honestly, at any corporation, it is competitive. You're trying to fight for the spot that somebody already has. So I need to earn that spot. And the other 50% is I just can't be around all one race. It's a building full of white people and I'm the only black person. It's like a little weird and it's a little uncomfortable on my end. So that's why I like DEI.
And we have two students. What's your names?
Renai Dennison.
Jasmine Davis.
So our first question to both of you is, what do you think DEI is?
I think DUI is like it stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Mhm.
I think it's like how can I say it? I feel like it means like when you have like different people in like different categories or like diverse people like African Americans, Blacks, Indians, like they all have like different things and like we like use it to like help like treat like the fairness of all people to make sure that we all equal or
Yeah.
like have like fairness, right?
I think you said it's about different people with different attributes. Some people have more like things to them. Like
Like more qualifications?
yes, it doesn't matter about what race you have. It's about your experience and education.
That's valid. Thank you. Would you rather be hired because you earned it or because you're a minority?
I say because I earned it because just because you're a minority, that doesn't mean you're always good at it. I mean, like you earned it, but I can be African American, I can be Indian, but you still earned it, not just because of like you're a minority or based on like what you do, or, like what you have done in your past.
Earned it because I will know that I have the job because my qualities and
my education got me there, not because the color of my skin, and that's it.
Hi, I'm Nevaeh. Hi, I'm Jacqueline.
One of you answer this question. What do you think DEI is?
Diversity, equality, and inclusive.
Okay. Now, both of you, would you rather be hired because you earned it or because you're a minority?
Mm, I wouldn't feel like I earned it, but I know I would want to be hired if I earned it. I don't want to be hired just because I'm a girl or because of my skin color. I would want to feel like I actually got this position because I earned the position, not because of what I look like.
To piggyback off what she said, I feel the same way because we live in a world where once it was just white people who ran everything and then they got it because of their, hierarchy, and now it's women can't do this and women can't do that. So now I would like to say I want to get a job and be like valued in that job because of my qualities, not because of what I look like.
What was your name?
My name is Tajane Bush.
Okay. What do you think DEI is?
When I think about DEI, I think about white-owned businesses who have a program to support any other organization. I feel as if any black-owned businesses, us as a community should support black-owned businesses as well.
Okay. Thank you. Would you rather be hired because you earned it or because you're a minority?
Um, I wouldn't really say that I earned it, but if I qualify for it, then yeah, I know that I worked for it.
Okay. Do you have any other comments on DEI?
Um,
Ms. Washington, your principal.
What do you think DEI is?
DI is diversity and inclusion, and to me, it levels the playing field for minorities.
Would you rather be hired because you earned it or because you're a minority?
Well, because the reason we have DEI support in place is because many minorities, even though they earned opportunities, they're not always afforded them. So that's why I am a big believer in having those other opportunities in place for minorities like ourselves.
All right, you all. Today we're going to focus on DEI while using the world famous equality and equity picture. In one of the frames, equality, everybody has a box, but one of the baby can't see. And with equality, the baby has two boxes, and the man has no box, but everybody can see. What are your thoughts in using example?
Oh, who would like to go first? We got it. Do y'all want to go first?
I'm giving my thoughts on the picture. Honestly, I'd rather leave it at equality. I mean, everybody get a box. If you just small, you just small. I mean, it ain't nobody else's problem. You're small. Keeping me from being what?
Small. You use the word small.
I mean, I kind of think about the boxes like, okay, if you know you need an extra box, go find a way to get an extra box. Not because we gotta provide you an extra box because you're that small. I don't really like that. I mean, if you know you're gonna need more accommodations, then go out and work for another accommodation. Not just us giving you the extra box because we know you need it and taking another box from somebody else.
So like when people have people work more than, let's say this person makes 10,000 in 3 months and the other person can only make 10,000 working two jobs. You're saying it that way? Like find you another way to make equal
I
those
kind
person's
of think
paycheck?
of it like this. Like, let's say you're interviewing for a job and like they give you like, a dress code plus what you need to bring, like the document. And because, somebody else got the document easier than how you got it. So you just don't, come to the interview with the document. It's kind of like if you know it's going to be harder for you to get that certain document, then you need to go out there and try your hardest to go get it and not just, have somebody, oh, I just didn't bring the document because I don't have it. I kind of think of it like that. Like if you know you're going to need more, then go out there and get more, not just, have equity, somebody handing it to you because they know you need it.
Um, I think the picture is kind of like right-handed scissors. Like everybody or the majority of the people are right-handed, so the people who are left-handed have to like do extra or flip things around. So it's kind of like the taller man, the gate is made to accommodate him. So it caters to him and what he needs and what he already has. But the other people have to work twice as hard to get to where he is. Basically, they need an extra box and an extra box.
Even saying that, what if there was something, as I asked TB, what if there was something that was literally keeping them from being able to see, or kept them from being able to see or growth in the past? For example, racism. What if the little boy represents black people, and we know that racism did happen? There's something called the GI Bill. When the soldiers came back from World War II to get the GI Bill, which would have helped them get houses and and that would pay for them to go to college for free. Whites got it and blacks didn't get it because Jim Crow laws were still in the South, which took them to the middle class, but it didn't take us to the middle class. So now what? What happens? And we're talking about that would be 1940, 45-ish, when the World War II ended.
That would be like laws put against us to keep us from moving further and having an advantage.
And then somebody saying, but y'all been free for 200 years. Like, yeah, but we never got the 40 acres and a mule.
Yeah, there's like
We didn't get the accommodations. We didn't get the GI Bill. The war on drugs. If you believe in the conspiracy of the war on drugs, were drugs systematically put in the black community? There's enough documentation saying it was.
Like fast food restaurants, that's like drugs, fast food restaurants, different foods like to promote obesity in black people.
You want to make a comment? You can, sure. Time.
I mean, to me, like the tall boy in blue, it's like he doesn't necessarily need a box. I feel like for people who don't necessarily need that extra help, like you're already further ahead. So there's no point for you to like need the box, which to me it's like it's just like depending on the situation type of thing, honestly. He doesn't need the box, so he might as well give it to the little boy who is not old enough or is not tall enough to actually see the field or what's going on. Just like how the boy in red has a box, he obviously like just people that just need extra help. Red need one little bit of help, but the little boy in purple needed extra help. So that's just how I see it. They're working way harder than the blue boy has to do.
Okay. That was it.
This kind of remind me of like it was this one lesson we was learning in class, and basically what we was talking about, like how the government be like, oh well, we give the black communities, we give y'all food stamps, we give y'all housing, we give y'all this, we give y'all that. Why y'all ain't on top? Because we give you all this stuff. And that kind of reminds me of equality. Like everybody got a box. So if this person is sitting here paying taxes, but you're getting like food stamps and housing and stuff, how come they're on the top and you're the one getting this, like, assisted help? How aren't both of y'all on the same pedestal? So it kind of remind me of like the government, almost like the government being like, oh well, we give out this and we give out that. These people don't have it, but they're on top. How come y'all aren't on top and y'all are getting all of this and all of that? So I can see how equality plays a role. Like,
It kind of makes me think of like legacy preference at Ivy Leagues. Like you already have an advantage if you're a legacy student for admission, so you're gonna get in most likely. Like I think I was doing an essay and it's like 7 times more likely for legacy purposes to So it's kind of like if, but it does. It also just makes me think of the government too. Like if the Black community or POC communities started out with no advantage for like hundreds of years, like in a race. Like if all these people are in a race, then there's a white person, then a Black person, and then another POC group. Then the white person starts running first. They run first, and we sit and wait for like 5 minutes. They're already halfway there, and we have to catch up with them. But then they make, what would they, let's say they give us a bike to help us out. But we're still not going to catch up. We're going to be faster, but because they had an advantage from the beginning, we're not going to catch up to them. So we're always going to be at the average mark. Because we started at the bottom, we're going to be average, but they started at the bar. So they're going to always be higher.
So I'll do this. So because of capitalism, do they really ever want you to catch up?
No, absolutely not. Why would they want us to catch up?
I mean,
You said no pretty fast.
when you think about all the stuff that they've been doing, it doesn't seem like they want to help us at all. Like, okay, for example, taxes. Why is you taking money from me that I just made? I don't have all my money.
I feel like they help us to make themselves look good. Not 'cause
I think they don't want us to catch up. Cause if you really look at it, what other than legacy to people of no color, what have they done? Because if you like,
So you is they government? Who when he said they were
government, like the system is built on unjust. So I feel like the system is never going to be fixed. If you really think of it, you have hundreds and hundreds of years worth of people just it's just injustice all in the system. So I feel like personally the system will never be fixed because you have to go all the way back and all the way back and
You
all
need
the
a
way.
new
And that's
system.
it's too much because people adding stuff onto the unjust system that's more unjust. If you look at the president, we not gonna get into that. But yeah, the system will never be fixed. But I feel like if the Black man really had as much of an advantage as the white man, I feel like people of color really take over because we are creative, innovative, and we're just overall that person. So the white man really they can see what potential we have, but at the same time they think they're superior. So they'll give it
They
to
don't
us,
want
but
you to be
it'll probably be
superior.
like an underlying tone to it. So we might think, oh, we up whole time. They got a plan B just so we won't make it.
Sound like you saying they're playing chess.
I would say, like, I feel like the government gives us things or put things in place to like make themselves look good. So like other people like we have this for our underserved communities, but then people like who's in office right now show you what they really want the world to look like, and it's not to serve underserved communities. It's not to cater to like POC communities. It's just we're gonna do this like past presidents. Like we're gonna do this so you agree with us, so you vote for us. We're gonna tell you, oh, I didn't know anything about Project 25. So you vote for us, and then we get in here and we show you what we're really gonna do. So I think it's just to make them look pretty. It's just a frame to the picture.
A bunch of phonies and fakes.